All right, I'm officially starting the webinar.
Oh, I was like, ah. Yeah, there you go.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Find Your Style with Cindy Conroy, presented by Dress for Success Canada Foundation and the team at Find Your Stride and TJX Canada. While we wait for people to join us, just a little bit of housekeeping. While you're waiting, there will be a poll that launches shortly, but questions for our panelists can be done through the Q&A tab on your screen. If you want to do any commentary, say hello, let people know where you're from, please use the chat function versus the Q&A function. Again, welcome everybody. If you have a moment to do our pre-workshop survey while we're waiting for folks to log in, we've still got people joining the workshop. We'll get started in a couple of minutes, but please take the pre-workshop survey. There'll also be a post-workshop survey, and we really appreciate the time that you take to answer those questions. And again, if you have questions for our panelists or the TJX team, please use the Q&A function. The chat function is really just to say hello, share any comments that you have, but questions should go in Q&A. Sorry to be repetitive, but for those who are just joining us, we're just waiting for a few more people to join. We'll start in about 1 minute. If you have a chance to do our pre-workshop survey, please do so and use the chat function to say hello or share any comments. Q&A is for questions for our panelists or the TJX team, and that's where the questions will be monitored for the Q&A at the end of the workshop. Still got a few joining, so we'll give it another minute. Okay, thank you all for joining us. I think we've got a few more trickling in, but I'm going to take an opportunity to say hello. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. And my name is Catherine Curtis. I am the CEO of Dress for Success Canada Foundation. We'd like to welcome you all joining us here tonight. We work alongside the 13 affiliates from coast to coast that many of you are connected with. We're glad that you're here. As we get ready, we're going to pull the poll down, and there'll also be a wrap-up poll. So if you can please participate in that at the end, that would be great. As well, a reminder that questions should go in the Q&A, and commentary, hellos, and any other chat should go in the chat section. I'm really pleased at this point to toss it over to Libby Stunt. Libby is the Manager of Public Relations and Corporate Social Responsibility with TJX Canada. And she's going to share a little bit about TJX Canada and the Find Your Stride Fund and introduce you to our speaker. So thank you and enjoy.
Great, thank you, Catherine. Tech check, can everybody hear us okay? Can you see us? I swear every time we do this, Mercury's in retrograde and there's always some troubleshooting. So we're good?
Yeah.
Great, okay. So as Catherine said, my name is Libby Stent, and I'm the manager of PR and CR at TJX Canada, and I'm going to play the role of moderator tonight. So first of all, thank you so much for having us. Before we get started, and before I hand it over to Cindy, I wanted to give you a bit of background about TJX Canada our charitable initiative, Find Your Stride, and our partnership with Dress for Success. I'm just gonna pop these out for a minute because I'm hearing a bit of echo. In 2019, we launched Find Your Stride, which is our new charitable initiative dedicating to helping women in vulnerable positions achieve economic independence so that they and their families can thrive in life. So our goal with this initiative is really all about female empowerment. We want to help women overcome whatever barriers they may be facing in order to get ahead in life and stand on their own 2 feet. And this is by helping them access the skills and support that they need to take control of their lives and ultimately succeed. So as such, we identified Dress for Success as our national partner to help us achieve our goal. So by providing wardrobe support, mentorship, and sessions like tonight, it's clear that their mission is clearly and perfectly aligned with ours. So with our support, our goal is to double the number of women that they support each year. Our partnerships include corporate giving, some customer fundraising. We just wrapped up a wonderful fundraiser in our winter stores this past month. But beyond donations, what we really love about this partnership are the opportunities for our teams to get involved and support in different ways, like tonight's session. So thank you very much for having us. And with that, I'd love to introduce to you our style expert for the evening. We're so pleased to be joined by Cindy Conroy, fashion stylist and entrepreneur, who's on a mission to shake things up a little bit. Her styling work and fashion and culture commentary have been featured by Today, In Style Magazine, Who What Wear, Bustle, Women's Wear Daily, Pure Wild, Huffington Post, just to name a few. And you might recognize her from her appearances on shows like The Social, E-Talk, and Marilyn Dennis, where she dishes on everything from red carpet fashion to everyday style tips. But what we love most about Cindy is her belief that fashion can be used as a tool to evoke confidence and self-love, which is what we're going to be talking about tonight. So Cindy, I'm going to pass it over to you. Grab my earbud, and I'll be on the side. Okay?
Yes.
Sorry, Cindy,
Guys,
it's Catherine. I apologize. I got to interrupt for a second because people are saying that they can't see us. So we need, or can't see you. So if we can just give us 1 minute, we're trying to figure out what's going wrong with our technology.
Sure, of course. Can they hear me?
Yes, we can
Yes.
hear you loud and clear.
Amazing.
Oh, some people are saying they can see me now and they can see you. So I think we're good. You should only see whoever is speaking. So that may be where the confusion is. So we'll take it back over to Cindy and you should be good.
Can you see me, guys? Can you see me? Can you see me? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes? We have liftoff. Amazing. I just want to say hi, guys. I'm really excited. No? Should I?
Oh, it's because she's speaking. Okay, we need to switch.
Use yours?
Yeah. I just have to unmute you. Hang on.
The joys of technology. We're all still getting there. Still getting.
Yep. Is that working?
Guys, can you hear me? See me? Hear me? All of the above?
Yes, we're getting yes, yes, yes. Away we go.
Yeah. I'm good.
Okay.
Yes, we did it, guys. Yes. Okay, I'm Cindy, now that you can see me. Hi, guys. Like Libby said, I'm so excited to be here with you guys talking about fashion and how you can incorporate that into your workwear to get all the opportunities that I know we're all hustling for. And I just want to talk about and just like have girl talk with you. So tonight is very informal, very chill. We go through some incredible looks I have in store for you. If you have questions, ask away. Let's just get to the nitty gritty of it and figure out how best we can help you to get to where you want to go. So I'm so excited. Let's get to it. It's ultimately about making you feel beautiful. And when you feel beautiful and you have that confidence, that's going to translate into how you walk, how you carry yourself, how you talk in an interview, and ultimately when you land the job and you just nail it every single day and you are this glowing enigma that everyone thinks, I'm really glad we hired them. So we're going to get to it. We're going to dress for your success. So let's go. So first up is key pieces. Key pieces are very, very important. And sure, you could have a trillion different things, but when you have just a few things, you can make them work for you. Your budget doesn't matter how big or small it is. It's a matter of spending strategically and making sure each individual item works for you. So you can have various things. I want to show you a few different things. We're going to talk about blazers, matching sets, which are really, really cool, which we have here on the mannequin. And then things like a skirt or a dress, of course, trousers, jeans, all of that in the mix to make sure that whether you're going to a very, very corporate environment where it's typically like a suit, like kind of like what I'm wearing, maybe a little bit more tamed, maybe just, navy or gray, all of those types of colors. Or maybe you're going somewhere where you could go for an interview and it is a beautiful skirt and maybe a turtleneck, something like that. There's so many different ways you can play with your wardrobe to really make sure, no matter the day, or if it's maybe interview 2 or interview 3, each time you're serving looks. And that way they think, okay, yeah, there's something to her. Let's go. So let's look at a few things because I've been talking a lot, and let's look at what we got. So first up, oh, I'm good. Yeah. First up, okay, I'm going to show you some sort of like separates that you could do. Because yeah, you could do a traditional blazer. I got some here, like what I'm wearing. And then of course, something very colorful and majestic like this, a blazer, more of a classic color, but still a little bit of flair, a little sass to it. Something like this. Or if you think, you know what, blazer isn't really my jam, or just I'm not feeling it today, then you could go to another sort of avenue. So this is fantastic. So a skirt, a nice skirt combo. Look at this incredible detail that we have on it. And then a very casual turtleneck. So this is going to keep you comfortable, interview appropriate. And yes, it is interview appropriate in this new day and age. People think, okay, well, I got to go like the traditional route. You don't always have to. And you can gauge the corporate culture based upon their social media or your interaction with the hiring manager, or if you have friends there or anything to really go, how should I dress for the occasion? And it's better always to dress a little bit above as opposed to walking in and you feel like, you know what, I'm underdressed, because then that immediately is going to hit your confidence, and you do not want that. You want to be feeling invincible as soon as you walk into those doors. So something like this is great, except you just have to kind of figure out things a little bit. So this is great for weekend attire, but what if you wanted to wear it to an interview? You need to close it up. So what I would recommend would be to put in a camisole. So I kind of have a camisole on right now, if you can see it. If you wear a camisole in a matching color to your blouse, that way you're making sure there's no boobage action. The girls are covered up and you are still appropriate for your interview. And if it still doesn't work, then just toss it and try something else. You want to make sure all eyes are on you and not sort of darting back and forth, trying to figure out what it is you're wearing or not focusing on what you're saying. Because the goal is to make sure everyone is completely enthralled with what you're saying and your competency. All right. So another idea, if you think, okay, solids are not my situation and you wanted to break it up a little bit, here's another combo. This is very, very flirty and girly. But again, these are just different options to kind of give you an idea of what you can do. This is great because we have a high neckline, so nothing inappropriate is showing, and it's going to keep you nice and cozy on those cooler fall days or in winter. And then, of course, you got a little texture, a little movement, so you feel really, really good and sassy. Pair it with the boot maybe, kind of like this. A great boot. This is going to make sure your feet are happy and not wet if it's maybe raining, because you don't want to arrive and you're soaking wet and you're just like, ugh. All right, interview time. You want to arrive and feel really calm and energized and ready to just wow them.
We have a question.
Oh, yeah. Ah, that's a good one, guys. Okay, so skirt length really is a matter of height. So the things that you have in your wardrobe, if you're a short girl like me, sometimes a short, oh, we're moving the camera. If you're a short girl, sometimes the length of the skirt, if it's a little bit shorter, like this, I will show you, could fall longer on your frame because of your height. But if you're taller, on the taller side, maybe like 5'4" plus, 5'5" plus, I would say, something like this typically would be too short for you, because then this is more weekend attire, hanging out with your friends, or going out to brunch, as opposed to an interview where you really want to be professional. So pencil.
I think adding tights too, right? Like
adding tights is a great way. So if you had something like this and that's all you had, make it work. So adding a nice opaque tight is going to make sure you have full coverage on your legs so they can't see anything. And then that way you could still wear this. Like if it's laundry day and you are looking around going, I have nothing to wear but that short mini skirt, make it work, girl.
that's our other point we're going to talk to about prep. So you will be
Yes,
ready.
yes, you're going to be ready because you're going to make sure you have everything alignment, everything's ironed, you're ready to go, you know what you're going to wear, your outerwear, the whole shebang.
And talking about sticking to neutrals, do you think
Yeah.
it's best to stick to neutrals? Or, I mean, you're in head to toe patterns, so I think we know the answer. But if you want to weigh in on maybe what are the rules, or are there rules we need to stick to?
Totally. So you could go classic, you can go neutral. It's up to you. You could also mix and match it. Like if you felt like, okay, I want to dabble a little bit, but not too much, then why don't you do something in a fun print or color, like a blazer, like we talked about here. And then you had maybe a black pant, wide leg on the bottom. So you get a little bit of it, and then you're still feeling that extra energy. Because if you look at yourself, maybe get a glimpse in the elevator mirror, and you're like, oh, I can do this. That extra color pop or a detail on your, let's say, blazer is really going to come through in how you feel as you step into those doors. And I know it seems like, oh, I don't know, but if you try it, trust me, you'll see it makes a huge difference. And of course, too, the things that you have for your interview or for workwear, you can also transition them into the weekend. So if you have this incredible turtleneck that you like, this is nice and sheer, so it's not too thick, so you won't be hot. And if you want to wear it with maybe a pencil skirt for an interview, and that's sort of your corporate, I'm going to slay and get this job look. But on the weekend, what if you wanted to be a little bit more casual, out and about, and you have this really sporty skirt that you can throw on, and instantly it's a brand new look. And this is weekend appropriate. You put some sneakers on with it, or if you want to do a boot, you could do a tall boot like this. Adds a lot of personality, and it's comfortable. Ultimately, you want to have that comfort level so that you're really in tune with what you're saying and you're not focused on other things. You're focused on what the interviewer is saying, and you're responding with witty, charming things and just relaying all of your skill sets so they walk away from the interview and just think, wow, like this is the person I'm hiring. That's the ultimate goal. And your fashion is going to help you get to that point. All right, what other kind of gems do we have? So, okay, if you like a peplum top, something like this is great. Simple, you put it on, and then if you cinched it with a belt, it gives you a nice flare. You could add any type of skirt color to it. A pencil skirt would be ideal to really give you that silhouette, or a trouser, a wide leg trouser, a skinny fit trouser. You have lots of options to play with to make it unique to who you are and what you want to say in the interview. So you can still wear black, totally. It doesn't have to be color all the time, but just find a way to make it exciting. And adding in texture is a great way to do that. Okay, so I'm going to throw you a little something. It's a little trick. Well, I just told you it was a trick, so now you know. But can you wear something like this for your interview? Big no. I'm in love with this. This is absolutely gorgeous, but this is like holiday appropriate, maybe for Thanksgiving or going out with your friends because you're like, hey, we're outside and about. Like, let's enjoy each other's company. That's where it's appropriate. But for an interview, not so much. So leave this girl at home and wear things that are more work appropriate to really make sure that you seal it all with a kiss. And then dresses. Can you wear a dress to an interview? Most definitely. So I'm going to touch on this a little bit, but something like this is great, especially for a virtual interview. Because I know sometimes those are happening right now. So you might go in person or you might be virtual. So if you're virtual, we'll talk about this later and why it's a good idea. But something like this is great because you're making sure, you know, you don't always have to do a high neck, but you're making sure that you're not showing too much of your bust area because you want it to be appropriate and professional. So this is a great corporate skirt sort of suit right here. This is fabulous. Again, we got that peplum action going on. This is colorful, it's bright, it makes you happy, and ultimately that's what fashion's about. And when you're interviewing, that's what you want to feel, happy and confident.
some questions.
Ooh,
Can I
questions.
lead away?
Yes, please.
Okay. Colors.
Yes.
What colors, how would you best help someone, they want to know what colors go together, like what matches, what are the color stories? Or is there a key color that you can work with and then build on it from there?
So I would say start with one color and see in your closet, take it physically out of your closet and bring it up close to it. So if you say, okay, I have this, I seem to have a lot of turtlenecks, guys. If you have this turtleneck in your closet, think, okay, what do I wear with this? You could put a blazer with it. That's an option. So you have a classic pairing, black and red. Or if you wanted, like that skirt we talked about, that mini skirt, look at that color match. So physically bringing things together is going to make your life so much easier. So you can look at it and go, okay, that makes sense, or I like that. Or if you have time and you want to take it one step further, put it on your frame. Like you're doing a dress rehearsal for this ultimate day where you're going to get what you're really, really working hard for. So put it together on your body and go, do I like the way that looks? Does it make me feel good? And if it does, that's the combo for you.
And what about, like, would you say black and brown? Can you do black and brown, or black and navy okay?
Yeah.
Is it black and white is always a classic kind of fail safe? What maybe are those kind of core lines together and you'll be fine? So
you could do different shades of blue, let's say, if you had that, because that's a color we all kind of have, and pair those together. You could do a lighter blue with a black. You just want things that have contrast or highlight the pieces. You don't want it to ever get lost. Red's a great color. You could do that with pink. If you wanted to do, say, yellow, you could even put some black accessories or a blazer on top of it, a great classic navy trouser, a nice cream blouse, or in like a taupey color. There's lots and lots of things that you could do with. And if you think about it as a color wheel, think about what is complementing and matching with each of those colors. And that's kind of the easiest way to approach it. But ultimately, make sure the cut and the silhouette is really appropriate. You don't want to be pulling at your outfit because you feel uncomfortable. You want to make sure that you feel relaxed and ready to just go and conquer.
I think also head to toe tonal. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, I love a tonal look. Yes, tonal look is amazing.
Okay, some more questions.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot of questions about rules.
Ooh, okay. Rules.
Now, rule question number 1. Can I wear a cream suit in the winter?
Ooh, this cream suit, it sounds very delicious. I like it. That would be, what shade of cream? Cream.
Like the old rule, no white after Labor Day. Is that really
No,
a thing?
that's not a thing. You can wear white after Labor Day. I think really and I covered this recently. I did the social last week. We covered this. If you're going to wear a lighter color that typically people think, okay, that's spring, that's summertime, you want to add a little bit of a darker tone just to bring it down a notch so that it seems more winter and fall appropriate. So adding in a tight, opaque color, a black tight is a good way to do that in your footwear. So if you had a shoe like this is going to give you that sort of winter vibe that you need, or that boot that we seem to love so, so much. And then, of course, even just like a classic block heel like this, the accessories you use and the things you layer, whether it's your coat or maybe it's a duster that you're wearing, a blazer, those elements are going to make sure it reads more fall and winter appropriate.
Another question we have is about dressing appropriately for your age. And age is a matter someone might experience when interviewing. So how can you look stylish, modern, but still age appropriate? And are there rules about age dressing for your age?
So there are rules, but now we're kind of gravitating away from the strict rules of this is what you should wear when you're 30, 50, 60. And it's mostly about right now finding silhouettes that make you feel comfortable in your body. So if you want something high-waisted, that's always fantastic for every silhouette. Every woman looks great in something high-waisted, from a jean all the way to a trouser, or even like a pencil skirt is great, or even like a midi skirt, or that skirt I showed you, right? Like you want things that just make you feel good. So ageism, talking about age-related specific outfits, throw that out the window. look at pieces, and if it works for who you are, your lifestyle, your silhouette, then they're appropriate. Then they're, you know, the things that you should be wearing. Now, of course, if you had something that was like club attire, that's definitely a no-go. No matter what age you are, you want to make sure you're very, very professional. And again, that teeters depending on the corporate culture. So very professional could be an incredible sweater and a pant, or a skirt, or even a dress. You could even layer a dress underneath a sweater if that's kind of the look you're going for. Or it's all the way up to a blazer and a nice sort of cigarette pant, or a full suit ensemble. There's lots of room for you to play with.
Cindy, if I could interrupt, it's Catherine. Sorry.
Yes.
Not loud enough, right? Is this a little bit
Not
better?
loud enough. Yeah, we need to hear the questions a little better. Or if Cindy could repeat the question, that would be great.
Okay, so if you repeat the question,
Sure.
that would be great.
Sure.
Okay. So the next question is about body positivity and options and suggestions for plus size women or curvier women. How would you recommend they approach interview dressing?
Okay, body positivity, plus size women, how should you dress to make sure you nail it? So I have this beautiful queen over here. So plus size, you can, again, do the whole gamut of what we've been talking about. Fashion is truly for everybody, and you should never feel like it's not for you. It is. And there's so many incredible silhouettes that you can try. And this is one of them that I really like. So a great dress, you can wear a dress. And then we talked about some different ones. And again, this one I haven't shown you yet. This one is great because this is that traditional silhouette, but in a fabric that's very luxe and different than what we would typically see. So no matter the size, you can wear just about everything. So this one here is great. When it comes to it, we'll talk about it a little bit, but make sure you have an incredible bag with you when you're going for your interview. That's an important one. That's key. And I think trousers, skirts, dresses, everything is open to you. It's your oyster. It's just a matter of what you feel comfortable with. Some women feel like, okay, I'm not a dress girl. I don't do skirts. I really love a good pant and jeans. If that's where you're at, do it. You don't have to conform or feel like I have to dress according to what people expect. How do you want to dress? What makes you feel happy and confident in who you are? And look in that mirror and just think, you know what? I really love her. That's the ultimate goal. Because when you have that mentality, that will transition into how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you interact with the interviewer. And truly, they will feel that energy, and it will really make such a big difference.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, we're ready. Let's go. Okay, so guys, I think we've kind of talked about some interview looks. If you have some more questions about kind of what you see here, we could talk about it, or we'll move on to the other sections and figure out a little bit more of what we're doing.
I can give you a couple more questions.
Okay.
Collars. Do you have to wear a collar to an interview?
That's a good one. Do you have to wear a collar to an interview? Definitely not. You don't have to wear a collar. A scoop neck is nice. Scallop neckline. These are options that, again, like we talked about, give you that coverage. Or if you had a camisole like this, to make sure the girls are hidden. That way you can have some nice airflow, which is really important because, you know, we get nervous. So when we're going for interviews, we really want to impress them. And so that's going to make sure you stay cool while you're at the interview or en route to the interview. So you don't have to wear a collar. If you want to, you can. You can maybe leave 1 or 2 buttons, depending on how it's crafted, open, or you can button it all the way up and add a nice necklace. That's kind of a stylistic thing that you could do if you feel like that's the image you want to go for.
Okay. Sleeveless. What are the rules with sleeves?
What are the rules with sleeves? So sleeves, it's a comfort thing. You can wear long sleeves in the winter. Most people do. But if you want short sleeves or even sleeveless, then I say go for it. You don't need to, again, like the whole theme of this, guys, is literally you don't have to conform to this idea of it's winter, it's fall, I have to wear long sleeves, or it's summer, I have to wear a sleeveless. It's what makes you feel your absolute best, and then play within that. And if you want to mix it up depending on the day, sometimes, you know, you feel hot. Okay, wear short sleeves. That's okay. It's still professional. The ultimate goal is professional. You could wear a t-shirt literally in some corporate cultures and a pair of fabulous trousers, And that literally is enough to really make sure you look professional with great hair, makeup, and footwear.
Okay, a couple more questions. If I'm going to come close to you.
Come on over.
If the corporate culture is business,
Yes.
how do you recommend building this up on a limited basis? Like, do you start with your black blazer, and how do you build it? And then I know we're going to talk weekend later, but how do you make this work harder for you when you're on a limited budget?
So question was, if you're on a limited budget, how do you find those key pieces to start building? And that's truly what it is. You don't need a lot right away. You can ease into it. And I think there's this misconception that you need, let's say, 50 things to make sure you have the right wardrobe. And you don't. And often that's not realistic for most of us. So if you say, okay, I have X number of dollars and I can buy 5 things, maybe you do 1 dress and you have 4 things that are separate so you can interchange them. So I'll give you some examples. So we talked about this beautiful lady in her matching set. That's one of the things that you could wear for an interview or on the job. If you separate those 2 items and then you wear them with something else, so this could be with a trouser maybe, or the skirt with a sweater or a blouse, all of a sudden it's 2 separate looks. So now you've doubled your wardrobe and you haven't really spent anything extra, because I'm sure you had a really classic trouser and then a blouse as well that you already had in your closet. And so now you're not spending any more money to make it work for you. You buy an individual piece like this. Okay, it's casual Friday. Boom, there's the look. It's not casual Friday. You take it out, you add a nice black trouser to it, or a navy trouser. Or if it's springtime and you feel like, you know what, I want to go for a beige trouser. Like, there's so many options, and people don't think, oh, I've seen that top before. No, they think, you look beautiful, or you look like, okay, I should hire you. Like, you look like you could do this job. That's what people are thinking. And that's the ultimate goal. It's not about, I have to wear something new every day. So if you can only have 4 to 5 pieces and you laundry them properly and you take good care of them, they will work forever for you. And you just mix and match, mix and match. That's the name of the game.
Let's keep going. I think we're going to talk about virtual.
Yes, virtual. So that's a big thing right now. And I told you to come back to her. So this is great. When you're on a virtual meeting, an interview, people only see, for the most part, from here up. And so you want to give them some intrigue that it's going to help to frame your face and to really just sort of set the ambiance even. So you think, okay, ambiance, like set the mood. What? For work? Yes. You want to have that square frame and people see color, they see a smile, they see friendliness, and that's who you are. So if you add a lipstick, that's a great way that reads on camera so that people can see that brightness in your frame, or something like this, because it adds not only color, but also you have some detail up here that they can actually see in that zoom frame. So color is a great way to do that, regardless of what it is. It could be a top or a dress. It could be a sweater, anything that you have that's colorful, gravitate towards that. And that's what you should be wearing on your Zoom meetings. If you don't have color or it's a muted color, if you at least have something that has maybe like a little frill collar, like we talked about collars, that's a good thing that you could be using. Or if you have none of those things, that's totally okay. Just have an incredible pink lipstick or a nice classic red lipstick, and that will do just about everything else that you need it to do. So you have a lot of room to play and find the perfect recipe that is perfect for you. Oh yeah, here's another one, right? So we don't have the high collar, but then we have the color aspect and we have a little bit of detail. So people see this much when they see the Zoom meeting. Or you have a blazer and they see color on the shoulders, right? And then this is open, or even if you had a blouse underneath. All these different silhouettes work, but ultimately I'd say the goal is to have color. So whatever it is that you have, if people can't see it in full detail, but it's really a color pop, I'd say probably gravitate towards that.
Question.
Yes.
And I think this applies to both virtual and in person. they're noticing there's no white on this rack. Is white a no-go?
So white in person, amazing. Love it. When you're doing video, white sometimes doesn't translate as well. So you can kind of have to figure out if that works for your home setting. So look at your camera and do a test run. If you have a friend on the other side or whatever, just see, does it kind of not fade out, but it's just like bing, and it's just white because it's too much. But if you did a cream top, then you can kind of mitigate that just a little bit. So just find that sweet spot. And if you're in a darker setting, so the lights are not as bright, you might be able to get away with white, but just kind of play with it. You got to see what works for you. Undergarments. Okay. Undergarments are very important. Just as much as you spend time picking out the things you're going to wear on the exterior, you want to make sure that your interior garments are definitely on point, because you don't want to see panty lines or all these things and these incredible outfits that you take so much time to pick. So undergarments. You could do a great bra. You want padding. That's often really, really good for people. I love padding. Padding is great for everybody. And panty lines. Thongs are our friends, but also we need granny panties, because let's be real. So these are incredible options for you. But then if you add in something like this is going to make sure you don't see anything. So there's different types of shapewear. This one is a full sort of garment. So it gives you sort of like that tank top action, and also it's a skirt at the bottom. So if you're wearing a skirt or a dress, this could work wonders for you. But if you wanted to wear just a skirt shapewear, you could definitely find some, and it's literally just the bottom of this, and that will do the trick. And then you just wear your bra on top. And then also one of the fun things that you could work with is a full version like this, but it's a short. So that you wear the shorts, and then that is great for trousers and different, like even jeans, if you want to wear with your jeans, that really, really works for you. So there's different options. And then lastly, when it comes to undergarments, you want to make sure that you know what you're working with when it comes to a gusset. So a gusset is that little opening in the panty line area. So some shapewear has it and some doesn't. So you decide, do I want it or do I not want it? And the positives is that when you go to the washroom, the little gusset has little fastenings on it, and you just unfasten it. And then that way you can go to the washroom in 2 seconds instead of spending 10 minutes in the washroom trying to take everything off, do what you got to do, and get dressed again. Because again, time is money and you're working hard.
Accessories.
Yes.
There are some questions, but you start and then I'll pepper them.
Okay, accessory. So we talked about a bag. So depending on the type of bag situation you have going on, this is where you really got to kind of focus. So some people love to carry everything in their bag. So if that's you, a bigger option like this over here is really going to be helpful, or even like a little tote like this. If you're able to pare back a little bit, then I would highly recommend something smaller so that it's not getting in the way. You're not lugging it around en route to the interview. You want to make sure that you're speedy, you're agile, and you're not getting weighed down. But again, it's a balance, because you need to make sure you have the things you need. So maybe you need your laptop to bring with you because you have to do a demonstration. Having a bigger bag is going to let you put your laptop in it. It's still stylish, but it's actually functional. Or maybe you need to bring a notebook and a pen because you want to make sure you can write down whatever you got to write down and you don't forget about it. So having those bigger bags are beneficial, or you simply just hold it in your arm like this. You got your cute bag with you, your notepad, your pen, and you're ready to go. And you can even put your pen in here so it's nice and secure. So you have options. And then when it comes to accessories as well, we want to talk about fabulous earrings. So earrings that are big and dangly, like these beautiful earrings, are great. But then when you're at the interview, you don't want people to be, yeah, and looking at your incredible earrings. You want them to think, I want to make sure I'm listening to them. And that's the ultimate goal. So you don't want anything that's too big, that's dangling, that's making noise. You want them to be focused on you and what you have to say.
We've got some questions on footwear.
Yes.
Mainly boots and winter. What's appropriate when you're going, you want to look professional,
Yeah.
but you don't want to have your, big lug sole boot on. What's your recommendation?
So if you're going to be driving to your interview, a great sort of trick would be to swap out your boots. So you could have those big hardcore boots that are ideal for 15 centimeters of snow because we live in Canada. But as soon as you get on site, take them off in the car, leave them, and then change into either, if the area is nicely shoveled, then you could wear your heels if you want to, or a pair of flats, or put on a different pair of boots that are more stylish and less functional potentially, but also maybe. And then this is what you could wear into the interview. You don't want to end up with a bunch of dirty slushiness all over your boots, and that's what you walk into the room, because this is your first impression when they see you. And by the same token, you want to make sure you have a great outerwear coat. So this is a great trench. It has a lot going on for it, but not too much, and it's really fabulous. Or even something in a color. We have that luxe material. It feels really, really nice. You want to make sure you don't get too hot en route to your interview, because you don't want to be sweating and feel uncomfortable and agitated. When you arrive, you want to make sure that, yes, you had the right outerwear so that if it was raining or whatever, you're ready, but also that you're just in the perfect frame of mind to just go in there and wow them.
Let me just get some more questions.
Yeah. And footwear, again, so back to that, you want to make sure that whatever you're wearing on your feet, that it's comfortable. So yeah, we want to do a heel, a lot of us, so do a heel, but something lower like this, as opposed to a higher heel, means that if you're commuting to your interview, or if you get there and they say, let's do a 15-minute tour to introduce you, because they love you so much, and they're like, yeah, we want to hire her, I think. Let's bring her around to a few people and see what they think. If you have a lower heel, that means that you'll be able to walk around comfortably without 5 minutes in going, oh my gosh, my feet hurt so much, but you got to smile the whole time. If you have comfortable footwear, you won't even be thinking about that. All you'll be focused on is just going in there and going, hi, I'm so-and-so, how are you? And people just feel that magnetic energy, and that's the ultimate kind of goal when it comes to footwear.
Okay, we're getting a couple more questions coming in. Maybe we touch on your last part, which is garment care, and then we'll open the floor for all of the rest of the questions.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So garment care, everything you own, whether it's 2 pieces or more, you want to make sure you take care of it. You've spent time and money to find these things, to curate them, to have that wardrobe that's really going to work for you and work double time. And you want to make sure that they last a long time. So when you buy things, make sure you wash them properly, turn them inside out, put them on the cold cycle in your washing machine. And what I really would recommend is don't put them in the dryer ever. Don't put them ever in the dryer. Hang them out to dry. Go to anywhere, go to HomeSense, whatever, Canadian Tire, whatever it is, and go and get a rack. And you hang everything on the rack. It might take 2 days in the summertime to dry, 3 days, but in the winter, literally overnight in the fall and winter, because the heat's on, it's going to dry instantly and be ready to go. And you're preserving the fibers in your garment so they last a lot longer and they don't stretch out and whatnot. And then of course as well, your detergent. So I would really recommend a Woolite or even like a Tide cold water. That again is going to really seal in those colors so they don't fade very quickly on you.
Can you tell us about wrinkle-free fabrics? So, I mean, I don't like ironing, but you also want to make sure when you arrive, you're not a wrinkled mess. So what fabrics would you stick to?
So wrinkles, so silks, unless you feel like, okay, I can maybe not sit and hunch and then wrinkle in the front. If you can achieve that, which kind of is a bit of a miracle, go ahead and wear silk. But a lot of us, we would immediately wrinkle it. So wear fabrics that are thicker. So if you're looking at something like this, you can wear this all day and it won't change the appearance of it. You won't see any of those creases. If you want to wear a sweater, you don't see anything. A polyester even like this, sure, it gives you that illusion of more of a silkier fabric and, you know, have that blouse element, but you're not going to see those wrinkles because you don't want the first impression to be, okay, you seem disheveled, even though you put so much care and time into what it is that you were doing. So really gravitate to things that are not going to show anything and not hide. So something like this, dependent on the materials you have at home or whatever it is that you buy, then you might see it. But this one that I have here is a bit more of a mixed blend. So then that way, it's not really that sort of like true silky element that immediately you fold it up and it creases. Like you're not going to see that. And if you start off with a good steam job or ironing before you leave home, when you get there, you should be okay. But make sure you don't steam or iron it right before you put it on, because it's going to be hot. You need to give it time to cool down. The garment needs to cool down so that then it's not going to, wrinkle immediately.
Okay, we're getting some questions about what colors work for my skin tone. Like, is there one color that works for everybody? And
Yeah.
if you have a lighter skin tone like me, is there something I should stick towards or stay away from? Or if you have a darker skin tone, can we tackle that?
Okay. So skin tone and different color options. If you're into things like a navy or a black, gray, creams, white tops, like we talked about, all of those colors work for everybody. And now what's really, really hot right now is even chocolate browns. And that generally works for most people, but you just kind of be careful. So if you say, let's say brown, because that's really trendy right now. For darker complexions, you maybe want to go towards more of a caramel color. You're still playing that brown family, but you just want to make sure that it works for you, because you don't want things to wash you out. Whatever color it is you pick, make sure that it's giving a little bit of burst and energy to what you're wearing. Even things like yellow, everybody can wear yellow. It's the tone of yellow that you pick. So when you go shopping, take the garment and just go to the mirror and hold it up to yourself. That's your test right there. You don't have to know all these fancy things about fashion and whatever. Literally, you go to the mirror and go, yep, that works for me. Or like if you think, it's a probably a no. If you think, oh, okay, definite yes.
We're getting some questions about women who are over 50. Is there anything as a woman over 50 that you can't wear anymore, that you should avoid? Again, what are the rules?
Okay, so if you're over 50, what should you wear? I think it comes down to mini skirts. A lot of women who are older feel like, I don't know about mini skirts, but again, it's a personal preference. If you are working hard and you feel like, you know what, a mini skirt, I want to show off my legs, then do it. Everything you wear needs to make you feel confident. If it doesn't do that, or you make you feel like, I'm not sure, toss it out and pick something else. There's so many different options and colors that you can use to really get that confidence boost. So if something is a question mark, then it's not the right item for you. And if you have things in your closet that don't feel like this is where I want to go or the look I want, then put them aside. Everything you wear should truly just make you feel good. And if it's not doing that, then you got to go.
Okay, silhouettes for women who might be shorter. If I'm looking to elongate, other than sky-high heels, what are the silhouettes that would be best?
So if you're a short gal like me, what do you wear? What's your silhouette? So wearing heels obviously is a great way to do that sort of height magic, if you will, but that's not always practical. Sometimes you need to wear a flat, and you can find an incredible flat nowadays. So wear your flats, wear your lower boots, wear your sneakers if it makes sense. And then what you do is you find proportions. So sometimes different retailers will have things for petite. If you're a petite gal, gravitate towards those things. Sometimes it's easier to say, okay, well, I'm just going to get it altered. There's no shame in getting things altered. Literally, you can go to your dry cleaners. Every sort of community has one. Sometimes you pay $5, $10 and they can hem it for you. You want to make sure if you're a short gal, hey, high-waisted is your friend, whether it's a skirt or it's a pant. That's really, really going to be great for your silhouette. As well, think about maybe wearing a dress. A dress for shorter women is truly, truly transformational. It's fantastic. And then, of course, you can wear skirts or separates, but you want to make sure you're not blocking off your body because you're already short. So if you did a color up here, a color here, and a colorful, let's say, boot, that's way too much going on. So it's going to be like crop, too much. So if you could stick to one or two colors, that's going to help to elongate your shape.
Some more questions about accessories. I know we touched on them a little bit. Is there anything, like, is a blingy brooch too much for an interview? And is there, what would you say is like your never fail kind of more classic jewelry?
So we're talking about jewelry, a blingy brooch, what's appropriate? So I'm kind of a bling girl, if you could tell by my rings. So if you wanted to do a classic, maybe a blazer, maybe just in like a solid color without anything fancy going on, like this black one, right? This is classic and simple, and you want to add a brooch, I say go for it. If everything else is muted about your look, and that's your one sort of panache, why not? You want to show people who you are before you even walk into those doors. Because maybe at reception, they're on the prowl and they said, okay, when they walk in, tell me how they interact with you. Because as soon as you walk into that building, you're on. So everyone you interact with, be kind, be friendly, because they might be reporting back. And then when it comes to other accessories, so if you wanted to do, I keep coming back to these amazing earrings, which I love, but these are not interview appropriate. But if you wanted to do a fun bracelet or a fun ring, then that again is your opportunity to show who you are and show like, okay, I'm different than everybody else. And it's quite possible they remember you because of those accessories you wore. But don't wear too much. Have one thing that's a little bit more kapow, and then everything else is more muted and tamed.
Hair accessories. Is that a yes? No? What do you think?
Hair accessories are a personal preference. So she's wearing a nice headband. That's what you want to do. Wear it. I say go for it. If you want to put a clip in your hair or colorful bobby pins, whatever, then do it. Ultimately, you just want to make sure your hair is not in your face and bothering you, that people can see your face, that you're not playing with your hair the whole time. So if those accessories help you do that, then they're working for you and not against you.
Okay, question about how would you put together a classic, feminine yet a bit androgynous look for an interview?
Okay, so an androgynous look. I think a great way to do that maybe would be like a baggier, wide leg trouser that you could find. That's a great way to do that. And maybe an oversized, more square top or sweater. That's a great way to do sort of interview chic. You have a nice loafer on your feet and it's really comfortable and it's very understated, but still very stylish. And it's something that you could walk around. If you had that tour, you could walk around for 15, 30 minutes and be really, really ready to go. So that's a great look. Or even just like, if you wanted to do a full suit that's more of a masculine cut, I say do it. If you want to wear a tie and a white shirt underneath and a blazer on top, I say that's absolutely delicious. Go for it. There's no rules of, and again, it's what makes you feel good and happy. If that works for you and you really enjoy that, then wear it, because you're going to feel like I'm showing them who I actually am. And that you want to make sure, yes, that you're being interviewed by them and that they like you, but you're also interviewing them and you want to show them who you are. And if that's where you like to play and you feel comfortable, then do it, because you want to make sure that they like who you are as well.
Okay, we're getting close to our time, so I wanted to wrap up positivity, body positivity. What's your tip to make sure that when I walk into that interview, I'm going to feel great? Like, do you figure out your favorite thing about yourself and accentuate? Like, what do you do so that everyone feels good walking into that interview?
What do you do so that everybody, what do you do so that you feel great when you walk into that interview and you have that energy? I mean, really give yourself a pep talk. Dress the night before, find out what it is you're going to wear. So you're not thinking about it all night going, okay, I could wear that, I could do that. If you have a plan, you subside all those thoughts and you're ready to go. If you look at yourself in the mirror before you head out, whether you're sitting in that car waiting for your time to walk in, or while you're sitting in the waiting area, potentially, or you're waiting for your Zoom call to start. If you can just kind of find a moment of quiet, of silence, and just center yourself and say, you know what? I'm here. I did this. Let's go get this. This is mine today. You have the right outfit on. You feel confident. You feel beautiful. You feel competent. Then you're ready. And you've prepared for your interview. That's your moment to shine. Just give them everything you have and more, and they will see that and they will feel it. And the world is your oyster, so go get it.
One more. And I think it's about playing up your features. So if I know that I love and I have great legs, what would you do to amp up your legs? If it's my blue eyes, what would you do? Like how can someone play up their best feature so that they feel confident, not worrying about maybe something that they're not as confident about? Yeah.
focus on the things that you love about yourself. That is the name of the game. If you have great legs, show those babies off. If you want to do a skirt, you talked about doing an opaque tight. You're still showing off your legs, but it's still professional. That's a great way to do that. If you have great eyes that really pop and you have a color in mind that really accentuates your eyes, wear that. You want to focus and highlight the things that you absolutely adore and don't think about the rest of it. Focus on the positives in life, and that's going to get you to that next step so that you truly are empowered to make the decisions you need to make to get to where you want to go.
Okay. So I think we've covered most of the questions in the chat, but for that, I'm going to
come on over.
Here we go. We wanted to thank everyone for coming tonight, and thank you to our guest Cindy for sharing all of her expertise. I hope you're all aware that your names will be entered into a draft to win one of 5 $50 gift cards to winners HomeSense and Marshalls, so you can hopefully grab some of these fab finds behind us or something that you're looking for the fall winter season. But also the grand prize, someone will win a 1-hour styling session with Cindy, so she can answer even more of your questions and help you play out your best features so you're feeling good and looking good as you head into your interview season. So thank you. I'll hand it over to Catherine to wrap things up. I think there'll be one more poll, and we'll see you at the next time.
Yeah, it's so nice to meet all of you guys. Lots of love.
Hi, everybody. Yes, please take a moment before you log off and answer our post-workshop survey, which should be up on your screen momentarily. Also, thank you, Cindy. That was great. Apologies to our attendees for some of the technical issues, but we're glad that you were able to get a lot of your questions answered. And boy, they're still rolling in. There will be a takeaway from Cindy that will be circulated out with the recording that you should all receive at some point next week. And again, thank you, TJX Canada, for being such tremendous partners with Dress for Success Canada Foundation, as well as our 13 affiliates across the country. We are absolutely stronger because of you. So thank you all, and have a fabulous, safe and enjoyable Thanksgiving weekend.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.